What's going on? I hope this video finds some help or assistance to your advantages, such as the Automatron experience, exploit, and the Wasteland Workshop exploits. I do not know about the Far Harbor exploits yet, but my original save file is completely corrupt. It just crashes the entire console. It shuts off the entire console. So I went into the cloud save and the console save, and I just deleted. I called it Great Scott was my character's name. And this one here, Bob the Builder, that's what I've named my character. I figured out how to modify, not modify, but duplicate materials and stabilize the game save. I figured out how to stabilize material duplications so it won't corrupt your game save. And I'm going to show you how. It's really simple. It is very simple. It's just one more step. Once you've duplicated your resources, I'm going to use Sunshine Tidings Co-op. Have not finished this, but I think you can only go up to 4 stories. Sunshine Tidings Co-op. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the workshop. Go over to junk. We're going to use ceramic as the demonstration. So you go ahead and go into your inventory. Go over to junk. Drop that on the ground. Then you want to exit your Pip-Boy and go immediately into the build mode. Hover over your material that you're duplicating, and in rapid succession on PlayStation you press square X circle. Just like that. As you've seen, 2 menus popped up. One was to scrap. Now this one is asking to store. Now when I press X on store, it's scrapped, and it well, apparently I didn't get it right. Drop that on the ground, go to build mode, hover over the item, square X circle. There we go. 16 to 32. Now here's where the stabilization comes into play. How to make it available that you can keep doing this and not screw up your game save. So you see there's 2 piles. Now, the tip and the trick is when you have multiple piles, scrap all piles. So when you go back into the workshop, it's 1 stack. So then when you go ahead and drop it on the ground again, you'll see here right there, it's 1 stack. Take 32. Then when you go back into the build menu and square X circle to duplicate again, it will stabilize. 64. Alright, check this out. It's going to be 2 stacks. Build menu. When you have multiple stacks, you want to scrap them. Drop it back on the ground. Now it's 1 stack. Alright. Duplicate that stack. Don't duplicate multiple stacks, because you're going to screw up, you know, how the AI and probably the user interface also, the UI, will comprehend shit. You know that you just duplicated items. It's going to make it a much more stable material duplication process. So again, the biggest tip, how to stabilize your modified or duplicated materials in your build menu. Instead of, you know, square X circle on each stack, bring it to 1 stack. That's going to stabilize your materials. Scrap multiple stacks. You only want 1 stack of items, or materials I should say. Now that I have 120 in, I'm going to drop that single stack back on the ground, and then I'm going to go back into the build shop, or the build menu, or whatever this is, because this is like the build screen, you know, where you can like build shit. But you want single stacks. That's the pro tip. Multiple stacks of materials will fuck up your game save eventually. So when you duplicate stacks, scrap them. Sorry, I don't think I said that right. When you duplicate and you drop more than one stack on the ground, you're going to want to go back into the build menu and scrap that stack. Now you see here, I only have one stack. Square X circle to duplicate. What is that? 500, yeah, 500. Now when I go back into my junk on my Pip-Boy, I have 512. When I go to drop those on the ground, it's going to give me 2 stacks. Go back into your build menu. Scrap the multiple stacks. You do not want to duplicate off of these. You only want to duplicate off of one stack. It'll stabilize and save your game file. It won't corrupt it. One stack. You do not want multiple stacks to duplicate. Yes, there is still an unlimited materials glitch. Hurry up and use it. They haven't figured it out yet. So let's not let them. Scrap multiple stacks and then reacquire that material. Drop that single stack back on the ground. Go into the build menu, square X circle. It's much, much, much more stable. This really is a pro tip. I have not seen anybody suggest that you do this. And I know for a fact it stabilizes materials. Something tells me got a very small supply of steel. That's. I need to head over here to Sanctuary to see where all my materials are. I think I might have taken the majority out and put them in some chest outside of the workshop so it doesn't influence the total quantity. I'm pretty sure I got a toolbox sitting beside one of these crafting stations. Since all crafting stations and the armor workbench are all connected to the actual workshop, and if you run supply lines to each of your settlements, you essentially have all of your materials at all settlements. So I think it's this one. No. This one? No. Move, Nick. Now they show up. 49,000 acid. 59,000 adhesive. 53,000. You know, yeah. Stabilize. I need to make more bone cloth. I need to go through here. 60,000 is a suggested soft cap. Like, you shouldn't bypass 60,000 of individual supplies. Like, here I have 63,000, but I'm going to make my way over here to the, what's it called? Sargeras Ironworks? Sargus? Where is that? I thought it was somewhere around here. The Sargus. The Ironworks place, where there's lots of fire damage. I need to grab that Picket Fences magazine so I can craft statues and miscellaneous. Yeah, once you pick up that magazine, you can craft the copper statue. It's not even here. Since I haven't picked up a magazine, I haven't the access. It should be, I believe, to the right of miscellaneous. It might be in between the wall decorations and miscellaneous, but it's statues is a whole new section. Once again, I hope this video does get enough views and it gets out there that I figured out how to stabilize duplication of materials, because if you're duplicating multiple stacks of one material, it will fuck up your save file. I guarantee it. I promise you. And then that save profile is no longer usable. Take it easy.